Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. And so I am here with a little look at my travel journal that I will be taking with me on my little trip to Boston in November, and what I am taking as far as a travel journal kit. And so this is my little faux Delphonics pouch. I'm just going to take these clips off. It is the one that I made in my tutorial. I will leave the link to the first part of the tutorial in the cards above here, but it's basically a fake Delphonics pouch that I made. And this is the smaller size, so I did make two sizes. I made a bigger one and I made the small one. The small one fits an A6 journal inside of it, and the big one fits an A5 journal inside of it. I don't know if those are the exact measurements to the actual Delphonics pouch, but to mine, that's how it works. And so, yeah, so I kind of stuffed this with a lot of stuff. Normally, if you've seen any of my other previous travel journal videos, I don't take this much stuff with me. I tend to pack really lightly, but this trip is a very short trip. It's only like 5 days. And it's just a quick trip to Boston, just because I need to kind of get out of my environment, and just having a nice little trip like that. It was very cheap on Amtrak from New York to Boston. And so I'm just like, you know what, might as well take it, because I've been feeling really stagnant lately in my life, and just kind of, I like to travel a lot, and I haven't been doing that because of COVID and everything. But just getting out of my environment and going someplace new. I've never been to Boston before, and just kind of having that change always kind of reignites, I guess, my motivation to do things. And so right now I just kind of feel really stuck and unmotivated to do much of anything. And so I was just like, you know what, it's really cheap. I'm not doing much of anything right now, and so I'm taking it. And so I've decided to approach this sort of trip kind of like how Kaylee Gray approaches her little trips that she takes, where she, I'm going to quote, travels like an artist, and she just kind of goes to different places and she views the city in sort of an artistic way, and then she keeps a travel journal based on that. I was very inspired by her travel journal series. I will leave a link to those videos. I don't know if she has a playlist, but I will leave a link to her channel where you can watch those. But it was a series that she did recently about travel journaling and just like how she approaches travel journaling. And yeah, I kind of wanted to do something like that, because normally my travel journals are very heavily on sort of like the memory keeping aspect of the trip. I tend to journal a lot. I tend to include a lot of photographs and things. And I think I'm still going to do that with this journal, but I kind of want to approach it in more of like an art journal sort of way. And so I feel like this is a solo trip that I'm taking to Boston, that I can just do that. So without further ado, let's show what I have in this little pouch. And so I had these clips clipped onto the back pockets, and they're just two Heidi Swapp clips, and I use this just to clip my journal open. So I figured I'd take some, since I'm doing more of an artsy approach. I have some washi, a card with a bunch of washies, and this I'm just using it to like tip stuff in. So I like tipping in postcards and stuff like that, and so I might actually have to put a little bit more washi tape on some of these sections. I'm not sure this will be enough, but I have that. Here I have an assortment of pencils and pens. I have two Uniball Signo pens, one in gold and one in white. I have my eraser. Here I have a Tombow, one of those shaker mechanical pencils, and just a Muji pen in 0.38. I like journaling in like using this pen, so I took one, even though I have more pens. Back here I have like a little, it's a scrap piece of fabric that I use as sort of like a, where I dab my, either my water brush or paintbrushes and stuff onto. So I have that in the back. And so inside is like full of stuff. Like I kind of went a little bit overboard. I actually do have my journal in here too, so that was another thing. I kind of wanted to keep the whole thing compact, and I really wanted to have my little journal in this. And so basically this is everything. The journal is not separate. It's in here. It's this tiny little A6 journal that I made. So I will flip through that and then all the stuff here. And so I kind of want to pull out before I do this. I have a little swatch card that I made for this journal, and basically this is my color palette. Obviously you can see when I make travel journals, I try to, well, more recently I've gotten into the habit of making them themed, mostly to the place that I'm going to, but definitely with some sort of color palette sort of theme. And so since I'm going to Boston in November, and honestly, I don't think I'm going to see any of the trees with the red leaves anymore. I think they're going to be long gone by the time I get there. But that's what I was thinking in my head, like sort of autumn. And so I kind of collaged a bunch of different fabrics that kind of felt very autumnal to me to make the cover. And then I kind of did the same thing with the papers that I chose. I went with like more like muted, darker muted colored florals, and again fabrics and everything. I try to like match things, and so it feels very nice and warm and autumnal. And so I wanted my art kit to kind of match that feel. And so of course I went through my entire stash of art supplies and created this swatch. And so I'm basically going to be showing you the stuff, you know, the colors and everything. Even my washi tape, I kind of try to make it match. I will show you my journal at the end, but I'm going to pull out all of these bits here that are for this swatch here. These are all paints, so I think a few of them are gouache. I think these two are gouache, and then the rest of them are acrylic, and then these are colored pencils. But I'm also taking this little tin of watercolors. I just have them in this Designs by Rachel Beth watercolor tin because it's so cute and it holds 6 watercolors. And so these are the watercolors. I swatched them. And I can tell you which ones these are. And so this one, and this one are the original, what is this? The Begin Again kit tin from Designs by Rachel Beth. And so those 3 are the original from this tin, and they're the Begin Again set. And then this one is a Prima marketing watercolor. I think it's from the Pastel Dreams, and it's the lemonade color. These 2 are both from the Jane Davenport Bright set, so it's the one in the teal blue tin, and this one is Frida, it's one of my favorite colors, and this one is Ink. And so these are the colors here swatched, and so that is the little watercolor tin that I'm going to bring with me to sort of complement these colors here. And so if I can start taking out some colors, I'm taking these 2 Holbein acrylic gouache, and so this one is pale pink, which is this lovely color down here, and then this one is shell pink, which is this color up here. And I'm just taking the tubes because they're really tiny and small and compact, and you'll see how I'm taking the other ones. And so I'm just gonna pull them all out here. So these are little bottles. They're little squeezable bottles, and this one in particular I got at Muji, and this is the 12 ml little bottle. You can get them in the travel section. Unfortunately, I found out recently that the 12 milliliter ones Muji is actually discontinuing, and so because I went to get a few more for this, but I did find an alternative on Amazon, and so I will leave a link down below. And it's, look, these are the Amazon ones, and this is the Muji one. They're like nearly identical, but I like using these little bottles to take paints in when I travel, because, you know, like if you see a paint tube, let me see if I can get one out. Like this is a golden paint tube. These are the Holbein gouaches. They're more compact. This is really heavy if you're going to take a bunch of them. So this color, the Titan Violet Pale, is actually this color right here. So yeah, I'm taking a few colors. One, I'm taking some white gesso. Had to put that there because I have another one that's white paint, and so I have to differentiate between the two. But this is just some white gesso because I love me my white gesso. And then to go down the list, this is the Titan Violet Pale, the golden acrylics, which is this color right here. This is a Martha Stewart color. I think it's Cloud, the Martha Stewart craft paints, and that's this color here. It's called Cloud. This is also Martha Stewart. It's her gold, and if I can show you the shimmer on that gold. This one, oh my god, what color is this? These two are from the Jane Davenport acrylics. And I forget what the colors of them are called, but that one's this one. It's sort of like the ink watercolor one, and then this one is Kiss Kiss. I remember this one. This one's Kiss Kiss, and I forget what this one's called. I feel like it's called Ink. That is my palette in terms of paints. And I just put a little bit of paint in each of these because I don't need too much, and I don't want to take too much, but I just wanted enough so that I can use it in my journals. And again, these little tubes, they're so tiny, and they're so compact and so handy and useful for taking a set of paints. Then I have here, I am taking my Liquitex ink in the titanium white. It is my favorite Liquitex ink. I have a bunch of them, but I like using the white one only because it just brightens my page a little bit. So I'm taking the full bottle because I really don't know how to store this. I know Muji also has like an eyedropper one, I think it's a spray bottle. But I'm pretty sure I can find maybe a little bottle that's a tiny little eyedropper. I'm pretty sure there are those about, but haven't been looking for them, and so I'm just going to take the bottle. And then I'm taking useful things like adhesive. I am taking this Prima planner glue pen. I wish Prima made these. They don't. They discontinued them, which is a shame because they're amazing. I have like 3 of them left, and so I'm going to take one with me. I've been hoarding them, and I try only to use them when I travel, and I just like it because it's compact. It's basically a glue stick, but like in a pen form. I love it. And then I am taking some double-sided tape because I'm planning to take my Instax. I have a square Instax camera, and I'm planning to use those photos in my journals, and so I need some double-sided tape to kind of put those in. And so adhesive. And then we can get into the pens and pencils. So these are the pencils that I'm taking, and I have swatched them here. I don't actually know which one is what color is what, but I can do my best. I'm pretty sure this one is that color. But for the most part, the colors that I'm taking are the Holbein Artist Color Pencils, and these are the colors. And I recently got these. Well, I didn't recently get them, but they're brand new to me. I got them for when I was doing James Luke Burke's Virtual Voyage 4, and they're so smooth. They're such smooth color pencils, and I got them in like different pastel colors, and so I think these, which are the top ones, will complement really well. And then I'm taking 3 of the Arteza watercolor pencils, and I will leave links down below to like everything if I can find links to them. A lot of them will be affiliate links to Arteza. I get most of my art supplies like these, the Holbein stuff, and the golden paints and the Liquitex ink. I get them from Blick. And some of my pens and stuff I get from Jet Pens. And so I will try my best to leave links down below to everything if you're interested. And so I'm taking these 3 pencils from Arteza. These are I think the professional watercolor pencils. So they are water soluble. And these are the colors here. I believe this one is Sage. This one down here is Jade. And the top one is Charcoal. Just to have a little bit of green in the mix. And so those are my pencils that I'm taking, besides like of course my mechanical pencil. And then for pens, well, I'm taking a water brush. This is one of the Arteza water brushes. I believe this is the small round tip one. And then I'm taking 2 pens. One is I believe this is like a calligraphy pen. It is the Kuretake, the number 22. Again, another purchase from watching Kaylee art journal. She uses this a lot for hand lettering. I try to use it a lot for hand lettering, but I absolutely suck at hand lettering, but I love this pen. Love that pen. And then this is my new favorite. It is the Platinum, I think it's the Platinum Carbon Ink Desk Pen. I think that's the official name of it. I got mine on Amazon. I'm not sure if it's still available on Amazon. I know these are hard to find now, but it's basically a fountain pen, and it has carbon black ink, which is waterproof. And so I'm taking that with a refill. So I have a cartridge, and it is a waterproof pen, and it's my favorite waterproof pen. I've been using it a lot for James's virtual voyage. I'm still working on that journal. I'm still terribly behind in that class, and that class ended like a long time ago. He's on virtual voyage 5 right now, and so that's how long ago that was. But I love outlining and then using watercolors on this because it's waterproof. It's awesome. And so I'm taking that, and then that's basically it in terms of like supplies, like art supplies. And then I have here a little pouch and some stickers for mostly like scrapbooking type stuff, because I do use scrapbooking supplies in my journals. I don't want to say that I was a scrapbooker first. I was definitely an art journaler first, but then I fell into Project Life, which led into all the other scrapbooking stuff. And so I have a lot of scrapbooking supplies in my stash, and so I try to use them up as best I can. I did recently do a really big de-stash of stuff, but I've only kept the things that I know that I will use in my journals now that I'm sort of moving my memory keeping over from my scrapbooks more into like the journals, because I like fusing the traditional memory, like scrapbooking memory keeping, with art journaling and junk journaling. Like I love that feel. Like I've embraced having a everyday ordinary journal that's sort of like a catch-all of my memory keeping that has some junk journaling in it, and that has some art journaling in it. And so my travel journal is the same. So I have some sticker sheets. These are from, I think, 2 different Maggie Home collections. But I think the colors, especially for these florals, match. And then of course black and white. And then I have this little glycine bag filled with things. So I'm going to pull that out. I have some more stickers. I believe this is a sticker from Joann's. I have this sheet of Lace and Whimsy stickers. And then I have this sheet that I just kind of put a lot of the Tim Holtz word phrase stickers. These labels are from Felicity Jane. They're the, oh my god, what are they called? They're called like the everyday labels or the essential labels. They're these guys. I have a whole bunch of these from when I was on Felicity Jane, but it's just a bunch of label stickers, and then some bits from some Maggie Holmes collections. That this is just a sticker paper, like the backing, and I just kind of pulled them off of the bigger sticker sheets and just collaged them here, so I can just take what I want to take. As more stickers, I have these are all from different Maggie Holmes collections, and so these are from like the rolls, and so I'm taking a couple that I think work well, and then these are just like word stickers. And then I'm taking an assortment of like different paper scraps. A lot of these are from Nazi Amity Bloom printables, and then this is a scrap paper that I used in my journal, and some more Nazi's printables. And then I have some writing paper, and so these are like if I need more writing spots, I just kind of tore out some more paper for that purpose. And then I have here some watercolor paper, because I didn't use watercolor paper in my journal, but if I do want to sketch or anything, at least I have watercolor paper with me, and I can do the drawings, the sketching using the paints and stuff, and then just glue them into my journal or tip them in or whatever. And so I have all of that in that little pouch, along with this little pocket that has different things. So I made this in one of my previous videos. I showed how you can make these fun little library card style pockets, and I have here just a bunch of ephemera pieces and journaling cards. And so I don't know if I want to take all of it out, but it's mostly Maggie Holmes bits. I have some from Pink Fresh Studio. I have a really old collection from We Are Memory Keepers. So a lot of the little bits are from there, but like mostly, oh, the new Pink Fresh Studio collections. They're designed by the same woman who does the illustrations and stuff for some of the crepe paper Maggie Holmes collections, so it works really well with those pieces. I have a lot of these pieces that I just stamped out using my stamps. I have some clippings from Daphne's Diary magazines. I have some Planner Society stuff. More clippings from Daphne's Diary. Or actually, these are from the Stamping Tim & Co. Magazines. And then I have a few journaling cards. But yeah, this is mostly like scrapbooking stuff. These are more like icon embellishments and things that I like using to just accent. Because I still really like using these. I don't like I enjoy having my travel journals having like my art and my photos and stuff in it, but I still really like having some cute ephemera from either magazines or scrapbooking lines. Like I haven't fully given up that bit yet, you know? I like having all of it because I do enjoy like all of it. So I want to use all of it. And so that is what's in that little pouch. And so if I can move all of this aside so that I can show you my journal. And so this is the tiny little journal that I made. It is an A6 journal. I have been journaling in A6 for pretty much the past year. Like all of my journals have been A6 journals or really small journals. I love A6. It is my size. I spent years going back and forth between different sizes, and A6 is my happy place. And so I usually keep these in a TN. I have a bunch of the Foxy Fixes TNs. Usually I would keep it in here, but I decided since I want to keep this in my little pouch that I will just make it a fabric cover so that it seems substantial and like finished, and not house it in a TN because it's just it'll just be easier to transport and everything. And so this is the journal that I made. This is the cover. I basically collaged different pieces of fabric together to make this cover. You can actually learn how to make similar covers to this. I do have a class called the Snippet Journal where I show you how to make these collaged cover journals. And so I basically did that. I just took a bunch of different fabrics that I liked and laces and trims and stuff and just kind of collaged all of it together. Then the inside is just a canvas, and what I use for like a stiffener is just a piece of cardstock. And then I actually bound it in a different way. I used this seam binding to bind it. Normally I will use waxed thread, but I really like this. It gives a very junk journal-y type feel to it. I love that. So yeah, this journal is filled with different types of papers. I have some vintage book paper. This is actually German. This is probably from one of the papers that Kaylee sent me. And I already went ahead and put some writing spots where I knew that I would want writing spots. This is a doily. I actually put this. This is a Pink Fresh Studio die cut. It says Hello Fall because I am going in the autumn. This is some, I think it's like handmade paper, but it's very pretty. It's kind of like a purple almost, a muted grayish purple. This is from Nazi's Printables. I will leave a link to her shop in the description, and I just print it. I print one side, the printable, and then the back side I print a grid so that way when it's in my journal I have a writing spot here. I have some sheet music, another writing spot. I printed a grid onto some, I think this is drawing paper, some Strathmore drawing paper, and put it in. Scrapbooking paper from I think it's called the Wildflower collection from We Are Memory Keepers. This was when We Are Memory Keepers wasn't owned by American Crafts and they actually made scrapbooking lines. And, oh, I skipped one. Yeah, so the back is just plain. Another Nazi printable with grid on the back, a doily. I have some Shakespeare book pages in here, some Planner Society paper, another writing spot. This one I put a little fabric tip. So this is one of the fabrics that I used on my cover, and so I had like this little scrap left. And so I just put it there. I have more of this fabric. It's just what I cut was too much. And so instead of using this on a different project, I'm like, I love these little kind of flip ups because then I can do some hidden journaling there. It's really cool. This is a flap. I put a journaling spot here because I knew I would want one. Some wallpaper. The vellum pieces I actually tipped in with some washi tape, because I think these were already pre-cut. I had pre-cut them for a different project and that I never used, and so I wanted some gold vellum in here. So this one is from a crepe paper collection. Actually, I think all of them are from a crepe paper collection. Some more of that vintage paper that Kaylee sent me. I put a little writing spot here because this is like more decorative, right? So I wanted to have a writing spot there. More printables from Nazi. So this is how my journal is bound. It's so cute. I love it. Another journaling spot. And then these are the repeats of the papers. I did a little sort of lace thing there. A little one of these ruffles, which I absolutely love. This is just to add texture to my journals, and I actually have, this is where I keep my little swatch card tucked into there. So it acts like a tuck spot too now. This is one of my wallpaper sample. I think it's my wallpaper swatches. It's a digital. And I just tipped this one in to here with some washi. Here's another one of those vellums that I tipped in with washi tape. And that is my little journal. I'm hoping that I can fill this baby up with different art things, journaling, because I tend to journal a lot when I travel. Like most of my travel journals are, it's like all writing for the most part. I think it's more writing than like memory keeping and stuff like that. But I really want to just have fun with this, like treat it like an art journal, but also get my thoughts down and like just, yeah, I did this today, blah, 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 that sort of travel journaling, how I normally do, and have some photos in there, but I really want to get artsy with it. And so that's why I'm bringing all of this stuff with me, like so much stuff. Like I don't take like these short trips. Most of my trips are like really long, they're really long trips. Like usually I travel mostly abroad and it's for an extended period of time. It's never a short trip. This is actually a short trip. It's only like 5 days. And for those longer trips, I don't take this much stuff. I don't take nearly as much. This is just like a lot of stuff that I'm taking. But I figured, you know what, it's a short trip. I'm going by myself. I can basically do whatever the heck that I want because I'm traveling alone, right? And I kind of want to make it sort of like an extended art date in a brand new city that I've never been to before. And so I'm going to bring all this. But the one criteria that I did have was that everything needed to fit into my little faux Delphonics pouch. Like that was the compromise, that I can bring all this stuff, but it all has to fit neatly into this pouch. And so it all does, which is amazing. I still think it's a lot of stuff. I think I'm still gonna take all of it though, and I will let you know how it goes. Carrying around all this stuff, because I normally don't ever take like paints and stuff with me. Like I usually, like if I'm gonna do an art date with my friend and go to like the park or something to, if you've seen any of my artist date videos, those are the videos that I would take one of these pouches and have it filled to the brim with like paints and stuff like that. But in terms of like traveling, I never really do that. And I think it's because, a lot of times when you're traveling, especially abroad, you have like airline restrictions and stuff like that. And I don't actually check bags when I fly internationally. I always carry on, and so I have to be mindful of, the liquids, and I believe paint falls under liquids, and so that sort of thing. And I guess that's why I don't take as much. I try to limit my kit, if you will, but I am going Amtrak, and there is no limit. The limit does not exist for this trip, and so as long as everything fits comfortably into this little pouch, even my journal fits in here, which I absolutely love, then I am fine with taking all of it. And so I just put my clips back here, and yeah, I love how it just all fits all nice and neat into this little pouch here. But yeah, so that is a look at my Boston travel journal and the kit that I am taking with me on my trip. I will definitely do a follow-up video of the completed journal so you can see how it turned out. And I'm thinking about vlogging the trip too, but I'm not 100% on that because I do kind of want to just focus on it being more like an art retreat, but I am bringing my camera on, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this look at how I kind of take certain things when I travel, like art supplies and stuff. I hope it gave you some ideas on how you can bring some art supplies with you on your next trip. And yeah, I will leave links to everything that I mentioned down below in the description box. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all next time. Bye!